Ed is getting ready to jump on.
Okay.
He's looking for the email.
Some things never change.
Hmm.
I have Kendrick as well. I'm just afraid that people may have automatically assumed that this was the normal 6:30 start.
No, Ed is aware. He just asked me. He's still on trial, so he
Okay.
was kind of wondering how long the meeting was going to last. I said it shouldn't be awful late.
No.
This one should be pretty quick. It's
Yeah.
really just the police, tax collector, and Oak Hills.
Make more of what's yours. At Simmons, our security system never stops protecting all our HD cameras and advanced sensors and power.
Tom, I see the park fund presentation. Is that?
We're going to table that, Mr.
Yeah.
Mayor.
Yes,
It's
good.
not
Okay.
ready for discussion.
Yep, good. Okay, thank you. There's Ed.
Great.
All right, let me start recording. Good to go, Ed.
All right. Thank you. Welcome to the March 4th special meeting of the Board of Estimate and Taxation. Glad that everybody is here. Can we start, Madam Clerk, by calling a roll, please?
Mayor Rilling,
Present.
Mr. Abrams,
Here.
Mr. Camacho,
Sorry, I'm here.
Mr. Constant, Mr. Gilleret,
Here.
Mr. Casimis, Miss Yang. So 1, 2, 4. We have 4. We have a quorum.
Thank you very
for
much.
commissioners.
First, Ed, welcome back to the Board of Estimate and Tax. It wasn't the same without you. It's
Good
nice
to-
to be back.
Yeah,
again.
good to be back.
Ed, we missed you. Welcome back.
It's good to be in friendly territory. And the Common Council was just, no, I'm just teasing. It's good to be back.
All right, well, looking at our agenda for this evening, it should be a relatively quick and easy agenda. The first item is approval of the February 12th minutes. Can I get a motion to discuss and approve the minutes, please?
So moved, Troy.
Thank you, Troy. Any changes, comments, additions to the minutes from the February 12th meeting? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes as documented, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
Thank you, Ed. Makes sense. You weren't there. All right, the minutes are approved. The next set of items, there are no special appropriations and no transfer items for today.
Hold on, Ed. There is a special appropriation, and that's the police vehicles.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was in the wrong section of my agenda. So there is a special appropriation, that is the police vehicles. That shows up on, on page 7 of our packet. Can I get that item moved for discussion, please?
So moved, Troy.
Thank you, Troy. Madam Clerk, can I get you to read the resolution into the record, please?
You said page 6.
7.
Page 7. Resolution requesting a special capital appropriation from the police department in the amount of $657,000 $657,000 to purchase vehicles.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
You?
Tom, you want to lead us through the discussion on this one?
Yeah, so we've been aware of the challenges facing many departments actually in terms of getting vehicles over the last couple of years, in terms of supply chain and inflation and other things and delays in delivery. So now things seem to be calming down a little bit. The police department came to us with a proposal in terms of their capital projects to fund some additional vehicles for this fiscal year. So again, this will be this will be for 24. The existing capital right now, not the fiscal 25 that's in the review and approval process as we speak. So without any further ado, I see Walsh online. If you would like to take it away from here.
Thank you, Tom. Yes, this is special appropriations for $650,000. Of those 8 vehicles, 2 of those vehicles will be electric cars. We are installing an electric car, dual electric car charger, probably within the next 30 to 45 days to the rear headquarters. And our plan is to buy 2 electric cars. The cost for those alone are $55,000 a piece. Those electric cars to start will be assigned to the school resource officers from Norwalk High and Bryant McMahon, and our plan is to have them marked as such, appropriate with the proper names and colors to their corresponding school, and also advertise the fact of the city's commitment to renewable energies. I think that'd be a great spot. They'll get a lot of notoriety at the high school. And the school resource officers, that's a perfect fit for them, is due to the fact that they drive there. They do not do a lot of patrolling, but it'll be a great presence at the high school to see that car parked out front. And to Tom's point, things are getting very expensive. Just planning for 2024, 2025, we've seen prices go up tremendously. On cars, our upfits, everything has gone up tremendously. The car alone that we'll be buying for patrol has gone up $12,000 per car, that compared to last year's price. So our upfitter went up $3,000 just based on his wiring and his radio cost and everything other cost. And that also includes the dash cam and everything. So this will also increase, shall I say, our plan to get rid of, or decommission, I should say, for lack of better words, some of the older cars. In the past year, we've decommissioned over 30 cars. We plan to decommission another 80, and we've put them through the public auction process. Crown Victorias, as you saw last week on our social media, we just decommissioned our last 4 Crown Victoria, which was very old, unsafe for patrol. It's just a maintenance and mechanical juggernaut keeping up with some of these older cars. So we're looking to, we've had really good success with our latest fleet going to the Chevy police package compared to the Ford. So it was a good transition last year. Unless they're holding up very well mechanically, general maintenance, they're holding up very well. The officers like them, and we want to continue in that path of buying more of those and replace our current fleet. So it'll be hopefully 6 patrol vehicles and 2 electric cars.
Thank you very much. Let the record show that Ms. Yang did join the meeting at 5:38 p.m. so that we have another member of the BT here. Questions for the chief on the capital request?
Yes, Ed, it's Troy. Chief, quick question. You said you went from the Chevy, you're going from the Chevy to Ford, so you are putting these out to bid and you're trying to get competition between these automakers. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, last year we transitioned from Ford to Chevy due to the production issues and the cost. Last year at that time, the Ford was $12,000 more expensive than the Chevy. We actually found the cheapest dealer in the Northeast. We actually joined the Boston Police Consortium. So the police fleet that we bought, we traveled all the way to Massachusetts to get the cheapest price, and they beat Connecticut pricing. So we were able to have those transported down, and we saved a great deal of money. Going back to that vendor alone, but GM has raised the price, and we still go back to the cheapest, most competitive bid.
And the other thing is, what's the average miles you get on those cars? You said you're decommissioning some of them.
Well, they average, the Crown Victoria's average between 90 and 120,000 miles, but those are some hard miles. You know, and there's a lot of hard miles in those cars. So some of them are on their multiple transmissions and engines and major other things. And we've had cars with a few holes in the floors. So we've all decommissioned those, and they're all waiting at DPW. We've already auctioned off our first fleet and then we're right in the process. Deputy Chief Dino is arranging the auction for the second fleet.
And the in-house, you do in-house repairs and maintenance, right?
Yes, we actually go to fleet, and with the last fleet of Chevy police packages, there was a 100,000 mile warranty bumper to bumper for $3,000 that we purchased for each car. And that will pay for itself many times over, because if something goes like a water pump or something electrical or steering, we drive it to the Chevy dealer and it gets fixed, and it gets fixed for free.
And how many cars do you have right now, roughly, in your fleet?
In our Mark
four?
Patrol fleet, Deputy Chief Dino, how many cars do we have currently in our Mark Patrol fleet?
Good evening, everybody. In our Mark Patrol fleet, we have approximately 25 to 30 cars.
Okay.
And do we have any idea over the next several years what the end of life transition will need to be? I mean, we're talking about 6 patrol cars here. Will it be, are we on a path for replacement that we have a view on?
Yeah, we do have a path, and that path is slowing down. It was probably reached its highest point last year, at about right now. And from January 2023 through May of 2023, it probably reached its peak. And we worked our way down. Right now, this will probably be hopefully the last hurdle in this fiscal year, in this upcoming capital. And the rest will just be basic maintenance.
Okay, thank you. One last question for me, and Chief, I'm not sure if it goes to you or to you, Tom, and it's not big dollars, but when we auction off decommissioned vehicles, where do the funds that we receive flow back into? Do they flow back into the police department budget, Tom, or into the general ledger for the city?
Much to the chief's chagrin, that goes into the general fund.
Okay.
Sharon coordinates those auctions on behalf of the city. At least once a year, and sometimes more often, depending on the volume of activity. So it's not just the police cars, it's Public Works has a fair amount of equipment that gets turned over. So it falls into that. So yeah, every last bit of that goes back into the general fund.
Okay. Any additional questions on this special appropriation?
I do have just one quick question, if I may.
Please.
Okay, so I realize that we're trying to transition to renewable energy as quickly as possible, but there's still the issue of there are hybrids out there. Have you done a cost comparison with hybrid vehicles as opposed to fully electric vehicles? Would they be cheaper and sort of easier to transition into our plan to to have pretty much renewable vehicles that operate on renewable energy as quickly as possible?
Yes, there's several variables in response to your question. The American car industry is, when it comes to policing, has still not mastered a renewable energy car for police patrol use. Something that what we call hot seated. So 7 to 3, 3 to 11. The American car industry is still recovering from COVID in many ways in regards to that. I think American law enforcement across the United States have struggled to find vehicles in the past 2 years, such as we have. The only hybrid that was out there was the Ford Explorer hybrid police package, which debuted in 2021 or 2022, and it did not get favorable reviews. I've known brother agencies that have tried it. It worked. And they had the similar issues that we had with the combustion engine Ford Explorers. At one point 2 weeks ago, we had up to 14 cars out of service. Just general maintenance, and most of them were Fords. It is what it is. You know, those are the bare facts that we had to deal with every single day, because we keep a ledger downstairs in the lineup room of every single car, and I'd walk by and I'd see the number of cars that we have out of service. Deputy Chief Dino manages that side of the house, and he's done a good job getting most of them back on the road. And so right now, to your answer, there is not a renewable energy or hybrid vehicle available for everyday single police patrol usage that you see in the marked police car every single day for high-speed usage, emergency braking, and officer safety.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on this item? Tom, I assume that the money for the capital appropriation does sit within the budget and does not put us at any additional risk for overspending on capital as a city. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, it gets even better. Ed, the money is coming from another police project, so they are, they're not asking for anything further from the city, so.
Very good. Thank you. Again, any last questions or comments from anybody else on the board?
Yeah, just one more, Troy. The communication, the money's coming from your communication thing that seems to have stalled. What's the story with that, Chief?
It's done. We're done.
And you just-
We're fully on board. We're completely using it right now. We're on the state band system. It's been a success. We have radio interoperability with all the neighboring agencies, the state police, the Coast Guard. It is amazing. Right? Our radios even work in Hartford, New Britain right now. We have we could go on the radio and talk to the officers when they drive away. Something that we didn't have that option to before. We have the new walkie-talkies. We have the new communications upgrade here at dispatch and 911 center. Everything's been upgraded there and in the police cars, and it's working great. We've completed the project. There's a few more things like an FD alarm system. We had kept some money in the account just to take care of a few lingering issues, but it's not a great deal of money.
So the original bid or something came in more than what we had anticipated? Is that why you have the excess funds to use for this?
Yes, this was a 6-year or 7-year capital project, and I think it was overestimated, but we are completed with the project.
Great.
Okay. All right. Seeing no other questions, all in favor of approving the special appropriation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The resolution is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Again, for those who may have been a few moments late to the meeting, we have decided to table the discussion on the Rec and Parks proposal. That team is going back to do a little bit more work, and once that work is done, we'll work with Tom to get that back on the agenda for review and discussion as a group here.
Mr. Abrams, we should take a
Yes, Mr.
vote on that. Because it does appear as an item. on the
Okay,
agenda.
so seeing that,
I'll make a motion to table.
thank you, Mr. Mayor. All in favor of the motion to table the Rec and Park discussion until it's ready, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, that is officially tabled. Tom, the only other item I see on our agenda for this evening is the contingency tracker, which is on page 11.
Yeah, so the first time in my memory, there are no transfers and nothing from contingency. So I can answer in advance. We are looking good on contingency for the balance of the year, especially if this trend can continue. So really nothing to discuss there. We've got 593,000 remaining for the last 4 or 5 months of the year. And again, barring anything major or surprising, we should be in good shape on that account. So yeah, nothing further to report there.
Okay, thank you very much. And then just as a reminder, in our package is additional information on the tax collector's narrative, the Oak Hills financials, the capital budget year-to-date, the operating budget year-to-date, et cetera, all of the things that we normally see.
Right. Yeah, I think, Ed, I think you were right in our discussion before. I think there are a fair amount of people who think this is still the regular 6:30. They're gonna be on at 6:30, which is when the operating budget discussion is going to take place, but I didn't see anything major in either Lisa's report or the Oak Hills, so if anybody has any questions, obviously I can carry them forward to the respective folks.
Okay. Questions from anyone?
Yeah.
Seeing
Just
none. And,
a
I'm
quick-
sorry, Ed, go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick question. I don't believe I received an agenda for the 6:30 meeting. If someone could send that to me, because I don't have a Norwalk ct.gov address yet.
I know you gave it to Lolo this morning, but can you give me your email real quick, Ed?
Sure,
ECAM, right?
it's ecam law, ECAM LAW at gmail.com.
Okay,
And I will probably be on audio, may not be on video, but I'll be there.
okay. Yeah, so that'll be the first discussion of some of the departments, mostly general government as well as fire and police. So when we finish here, I'll close out this meeting so that the recordings are not 2 hours each, and then there's separate ones to load up on for YouTube as well as Zoom. But the link, it will be the same at 6:30.
That was my. Okay. All right, thank you.
Before we close, Mr. Mayor, any comments from you?
No, we're going to be having some comments, I guess, when we open up the other meeting relative to the budget numbers and other things that we're trying to accomplish. Thank you.
Very good. Tom, before I move to adjourn, anything else that you want to bring up in this particular meeting?
No, I am all set.
All right, then seeing no other comments, can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.